Ron, thank you for having some time to be with us today. We've been talking about outreach and how we're going to do some inventive things using Ving technology. Let's first talk about what we perceive as outreach to be. And you've been doing outreach for a lot of years. Tell me about what you do and what outreach is.
Outreach is really identifying what customers need and trying to provide that for them. So in an outreach mode, what we want to do is again, solve their problems for them. We don't want to say, we have a program for you, why don't you come? We want them to say, this is what we need, why don't you design something that can help us get better at what we do?
So it's two-way, what you're saying, it's about engagement. Right. You know, getting out there, asking, pulling, versus pushing. And I think with what we're doing is, there's a human side, and that's where you go out and have the meetings and get face-to-face. And now the electronic side of outreach.
And the electronic side is something totally new to me,
yeah.
And because, but it's exciting to me because it's another way of reaching out to a whole population that we don't reach. We send out catalogs.
Right.
There's no interaction with a catalog.
Exactly.
You send a catalog out, you may or may not get a phone call. You don't know if the person liked what was in the catalog, if they signed up for what you're doing with the catalog. With this interaction, you send something out, you get a response. You know where they're coming from, you know what they need, you know what they want.
It's engaging. That's what I like about the Ving, because we will send out an outline. For instance, we're doing this outreach preview, okay, the breakfast. So what we'll do differently is, instead of just sending out a brochure, we'll send out the Ving. That'll be an outline of what we plan to cover. But what's really neat is, they'll get some information, but then the feedback. There's going to be a questionnaire. There's going to be, tell us your pain, tell us your frustrations, yeah, right. Tell us how we can help you. And so instead of just the traditional brochure, they're going to get that, they'll feed back to us, we'll know, and then we can integrate that into the preview. That's different. And I want to say, I'm grateful and thankful to you, because you're saying, let's do something different, let's do something inventive.
Right, I really like the idea of this breakfast, because we've had these breakfasts before, where we invite manufacturers, or we invite groups to a breakfast to say, well, this is the program, whether it's Six Sigma or Lean, this is the program we have to offer you. This to me is totally different, because this is asking them, what do you need? So we tailor the breakfast around them and their needs, and we may even help solve a few problems at that particular breakfast, and get them enticed into pursuing it more.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about the outcomes of outreach. Certainly we want people to engage, we want them to be involved, but outreach tends to be mutually beneficial. And you're trying to achieve what we call high yield outcomes. And those outcomes are customer focus, customer engagement, customer adhesion, and what? Revenue generation. I mean, and a lot of people miss that, and let's be candid about it. If we don't have revenue, things aren't going to happen. Let's talk about how we're going to focus on that with outreach.
Every organization needs revenue, whether it's a nonprofit organization, whether it's a profit-making organization, and in many ways, people ignore that. People don't pay attention to that. This program impresses me because what we're looking at is we're looking at outcomes. We're looking at increasing the revenue base for this company. Whether you're a nonprofit or a for-profit, more revenue equates to being able to do more, attract more customers, generate more revenue, build a solid base, and engage the people in a new way. Yeah. And also gives nonprofits an opportunity to create new programs. Every nonprofit I've ever worked with, there's not one I've ever worked with that said, we have more resources than we know what to do with. Everybody doesn't have enough resources. This program helps develop those resources. And that's a very powerful outcome, whether it's a nonprofit or a profit-making organization. That's why I'm excited about it. I think it's kind of a great idea.
Well, we started working on the brochure, the flyer, and it said, like here, it's a simple question, really. Do you need more revenue? And who's going to say no? If you say no, well, then you must be in a wonderful position. You must be incredible. But if you need more revenue, here's a different way to do it. It's outreach, it's engagement, it's more with communities of interest and customers in a different two-way activity set, you know. And the Ving is going to be one of the methods we do that, because we send it out, they get information on demand, and they can use it at their convenience, but they're feeding it back to us, and we know what they need.
And at this breakfast, what we're going to be doing is gathering information to help us put input into the courses we're going to start offering in the spring. And those courses are going to be developed based on the input we get from the people we work with. And so when they come to the courses are going to be tailored to their needs, what they need, answer their questions, what's keeping them up at night, what's bothering them, what problems do they have to solve. There's no organization that's alive today that can't do better than they're doing, and that's what we want to help them do. We want to help them do better at what they're doing and engage their customers.
Oh, that's good. And that's what Ving does. It's a design element. It's a feedback element. So in the past, what we did, and we were talking about that earlier, we just sent out the brochure and hope we had it right. Now we can set up an architecture or a platform, but send out the Ving and get that information. And we will do that when we do the courses, we'll do that when we do the preview, and it's customized and it's designed by the people that are going to be involved with us. Right. Thanks, Ron. Well, that's it.
Okay, very good. Great, Rich.